Hey everyone, CJ here with Diode Dynamics. Today in the garage, we'll be showing you how to install our SSC1 fog light kit on this 2023 Chevy Colorado Trail Boss. To begin, we'll grab our T15 Torx bit to remove 7 bolts from the front wheel well. You can turn the wheel towards the outside of the vehicle for extra space. Then, depending on your trim, we'll remove 2 plastic clips or 1 more bolt and 1 plastic clip holding the bottom of our fender liner to the air dam. Now we can build our SSC1 fog light assembly, starting with our brackets and our carriage bolts. Place our U-bracket on the fog bracket, then go ahead and drop our bolt through our U-bracket and fog bracket, securing it hand tight with our washer, lock washer, and nut. It's important to note we'll want to align the U-bracket flush to the back of our fog bracket. Then, we can insert the C1 pod from the front of the bracket, securing it with the supplied Allen bolt and locking nut using a 5/32 Allen and 3/8 inch wrench. It's important to have the nut next to the bend of the bracket to allow space for the adjustment. As a baseline for aiming, we recommend securing the pod parallel to the bracket using a 13mm wrench. After testing the pod, you can make any further aiming adjustments if necessary. In addition, if your trim didn't come from the factory with fog lamps, you'll need to purchase these OE bezels from Chevy. We went ahead and listed those part numbers in the description below. If you have factory fog lamps, you'll now want to unplug and unbolt your factory lamps. In addition, you'll be reusing that hardware instead of the supplied hardware with the exception of the nylon spacers. Then you can skip to the timestamp below. Coming back down to the wheel well, locate the factory fog mounting surface and push the back of the blank bezel toward the front of the vehicle through the fog access hole. Next, pre-install 2 of the included bolts from the back of the bracket to the front, followed with a nylon spacer on the bottom bolt. Line up our C1 assembly with the factory mounting holes and hold it in place while you install the included washer and nut from the front of the bumper. Then, install the 3rd remaining bolt, washer, and nut through our bracket, securing our assembly to the vehicle with an 8mm deep socket and wrench. Then, we can take our factory bezel, align the clips to the bumper, and snap it into place, followed by repeating these same steps on the other side of the vehicle to install our 2nd pod. Next, if your truck came with fog lights, you'll want to plug your DT adapter harness in line to your pod and factory connector. Then you can route your backlight wire up to your headlight harness and skip to the timestamp below. Now pop your hood and grab the switch portion of our harness. We'll be moving underneath the passenger side dash to locate the large firewall grommet that meets behind the battery. Under the glove box, you should see 3 plastic clips holding on a carpet cover. We can remove these using a plastic trim removal tool to gain better access. With a pick tool or something similar, carefully poke a guide hole through to the engine bay. With metal fishing tape or an unbent wire coat hanger, feed it through the bypass hole on the firewall grommet. Then we can take some tape and tightly wrap it around the 2 white spade connector leads coming from the switch portion of our harness and pull the fishing tape back through the engine bay. Next, we can disconnect our switch to tape our leads together and feed it behind the bottom of our dash to the driver's side footwell. Then, with a 12mm socket, remove the 1 nut behind the brake pedal and slide the switch ground ring terminal over the stud, re-securing the nut in place. Reconnect your switch and secure the wiring up free of any moving parts using zip ties. we're going to need access to our passenger low beam connector. Grab a 10mm socket and extension and remove 2 nuts holding on the fuse box. There will be one more retention clip in the back holding on the box. Go ahead and move this box out of the way slightly and reach down to disconnect the low beam connector. Then, feed it up the back of our lamp and peel back some of the factory loom to allow space to tap the wires. We'll be tapping the white wire, yellow wire, and blue wire with a green stripe on our low beam connector. To give you a better visual, we're going to show you how to T-tap a wire off of the vehicle. Wrap the T-tap around your wire and clamp down firmly using a pair of pliers to secure the T-tap. Trims that came with factory fogs only need to tap the blue wire with a green stripe for your backlight tap. Then skip to the timestamp below. Feed our connector back towards the fuse box to connect our T-taps. Taking the DT harness, we'll connect the white spade connector to the lead we routed through the firewall previously. Then connect the blue wire to the tap on the blue wire with a green stripe. Connect the red wire to the tap on the white wire. And lastly, connect the remaining white spade from the firewall to the tap on the yellow wire. Then, plug your connector back into the lamp, pressing in the red locking tab. If your truck came with fog lights, skip to the timestamp below. Using a 10mm socket, loosen the nut on the negative battery terminal and secure the black wire. Then, loosen the nut on the positive battery terminal, securing the red wire. Before moving on, we'll secure some of this excess wiring out of the way by lifting the washer fluid fill head off its retention clip and tuck our wire bundle under the fender. You can secure this out of the way however you see best fit using zip ties. Now we're ready to feed a DT connector straight down to the passenger side pod, plugging it in. With a trim removal tool, remove 2 plastic clips on the radiator cover. Then we can feed our second DT connector to the back of the headlight, across the engine bay, and down to our driver's side pod, tucking the wire under the plastic cover and securing it free of any hot or moving parts. Finally, we can make our aiming adjustments. Tilt your pod up and down, securing it in place using a 5/32 Allen and 3/8 inch wrench. Lastly, reverse the steps we use to take anything apart to put it all back together. As you can see, with our SSC1 fog light kit installed, not only will you get an additional amber accent light, but you'll also get a high power SAE compliant fog light, all with OEM functions. If you're looking to pick up a Stage Series fog light kit for your ride or any of our other products, be sure to visit our website at diodedynamics.com or use our dealer locator tool to find a dealer near you. And if you want to stay up to date on any new or future products, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications. Thanks for watching.